This is Fido Friendly Travel Talk. Here's your host, Susan Sims.
Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Yay! Say hi to Johnny. I'm so sorry I missed him. You guys are the cutest duo ever.
Thank you. He's sad to miss it too, but he's a busy guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've been fortunate to have Honey be a model around the neighborhood here with her various buddy belts. And we were out walking the other day, and she had on her gold harness with the leash and the poo purse and the little crystals.
Yeah,
and
little poo purse.
Let me tell you, she got a lot of attention that day, and it was so cute. And why is she so dressed up? I said, I know, Memorial Day.
Well, as you know, buddy belts are not just functional, they're fashionable. And she has a collection like a lot of pups around the world.
Well, yeah, that's the first time we've had a small dog. And so meeting you and Johnny and developing a friendship and working with you over the years. And thank you again for your sponsorship for our pet adoption tour, Get Your Licks on Route 66.
A wonderful cause.
That's always appreciate that. But I just wanted to share with everybody listening about Buddy Belts. I love the story, and knowing it was inspired by your baby Buddy, I just wanted you to kind of share how he was the inspiration for this big company, Buddy Belts.
Yes. Well, we ended up naming him Buddy. It was the name that he responded to. He was 1 year and 3 months old when we got him. And when we got him, he had just had this little tiny neck collar and a hard kennel. That was it. So we would walk him with that, and he started kind of, gagging kind of. And so I thought maybe he shouldn't have anything around his neck. And I was working as an art teacher at the time, and using tire rubber as a material, which was really great to kind of cut up and mold and make into things. So I created this shape that's like an eyeglass shape, and Buddy steps into it essentially, and the material wraps up around the body and fastens between the shoulder blades, and it took pressure off his neck. And so we had a simple design made in leather because we wanted to use a material that was natural and that didn't fray. So he wore that for, the first while, and it relieved that coughing and stress that he was experiencing. And so it seemed like the right thing for him. And then, even though that was a crude design, people started seeing it when we would take him for a walk and wonder where we got that harness. And that was so cool. And could they get one? And so one thing led to another. And, it's a long story, but essentially, I stopped teaching and pursued this passion full time. And the design is essentially the same. It's a step in, low cut, easy to use harness that doesn't have a lot of material or bulk, so it's more comfortable for your pooch, and now as well for cats and other small animals and pets. So the evolution was basically refining the shape and the tooling and the hardware and the design. So it's 20 years now. I mean, the concept was 1997. 20 years later, it's basically, we're working with the same product, same essential design. And, it's a global brand. We ship all over the world. We have fans all over the world. And currently we now have, along with our leather collection, we have a sport collection, which Honey doesn't have yet, I don't believe, but it's a neoprene.
And she needs.
Yeah, that's right. Because, they complement each other because, you have your leather coat and then you have your Gore-Tex. I know I'm using brand name, but it's your raincoat and your fancy coat in a sense. And so you cover all weather and seasons, and the neoprene is soft and weather resistant, washable and bright colors. The collections in leather, we have permanent colors that are always available, and then we do limited collections. We have a signature collection now, which is a very fun pattern that represents the Buddy Belt brand.
I think I saw that last time we saw you at Super Zoo.
Yes, I think that's when we first showcased it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that. So for those that don't know, what type of dog was Buddy?
Buddy was a miniature dachshund, 9.5 pounds when I first got him. And he went up a couple pounds in his, teenage, young years. But then near the end of his life, he lived to be 18 years old. So we were very, very, grateful and fortunate for his long life. But he was around, a size 3.54, Buddy Belt harness, around 10 pounds, if you're wondering in terms of weight.
Yeah, exactly. And Honey is 12.
The closest Honey.
Yeah, she's 12.
She has longer legs. Maybe that's where the weight is.
It's
the longer legs.
I don't know. I think she's getting a little too much good food around here. But what's the largest dog you've ever fit? What is the largest? We make 13 sizes in the leather, 10 sizes in the sport, but the largest that we fit is 100+ pounds. And it really depends on, the girth and the weight, because sometimes you can have a narrower girth, but a heavier weight, or most of the weight's at the back end. So those two measurements are really important. But for the size 10, we can fit, shepherds, bulldogs, boxers, Rottweilers, Labrador retrievers, that basic, a standard size dog. And the smallest, we're talking 2 pounds, under 2 pounds, like a teacup Chihuahua, teacup Yorkie, and everything in between. Yeah. And then you mentioned cats. So
I did.
This is the thing now. I mean, obviously we're fighter friendly, but we have a cat. And I'm seeing so much on social media, and I have the best time finding these stories. In fact, we're going to do a introducing Fighter to Fluffy edit in this issue. And so I'm getting all kinds of stories from people, but I cannot believe the amount of people that travel with their cats now.
Yes, more.
With their harness, with their leash. I just saw somebody on YouTube probably yesterday, a gal with her blog about traveling in her RV with her dog and her cat. Yeah. So is that kind of blew up?
I think, no, you're spot on. The trend right now everywhere. We just did our 2-month, Asia tour, Buddy Belt Legacy tour in Asia. And even there we saw so much more in terms of trends moving towards cats. Like it's quite incredible, really. And we see everything that you're getting for your pup, you're getting for your cat as well. And we actually have had Buddy Belts worn by cats from the very beginning. We had friends who had kitties and who loved to go outside. They were out, loved to go for walks. So they would get ready, and when they saw mom going for the Buddy Belts, they were right by the door ready to go. Now, cats are very different than dogs. We know that. So some kitties don't want to have anything near their body or anyone touching them, but I think they're conditioning more in terms of, the mobility and travel and carriers and clothes and harnesses and all the pet gear that you get for your puppy. You're now seeing for cats.
Yeah, equal opportunity, right?
I think so. This is what's happening.
Well, what's that for people that want to go online and visit all the wonderful things you have? What is the best website for them to log on to?
Well, go to buddy-belts.com. So BUDDY-belts, BELTS.com. And that's basically the home of Buddy Belt. And you can use our, I think it's like the Google map finder locator to see in terms of a location near you where they might be sold. But all the information you need is there. And in fact, what's really fun is if you haven't already seen Buddy's story in the animated story.
I've seen it. I love it.
Yeah. So that's a great way to tell the story. And then there are other videos that link to YouTube that talk about the product and the features and benefits and and other stories that we've produced about the product and Buddy Belts.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
You're welcome. I did want to say also Instagram, just Buddy Belts Instagram. If you go to Instagram, there's our main one, but there's also Buddy Belts Japan, Buddy Belts Korea. There's people in Taiwan. There's like Buddy Belts Germany, but all over the world. So Instagram, social media is a great way to see what's going on with Buddy Belt and the fans and our product.
Yeah. Well, it's a wonderful product. I'm a number one fan. Honey is, of course, wherever Honey is.
She's there.
Yeah, she's hanging around somewhere. So say hi to Johnny. And for all our listeners, for more information about today's show or just about traveling with Fido, log on to FidoFriendly.com. Until next time, travel safe and leave no dog behind.
Thank you.